Take one. What's going on out there? Okay, I'm working on some now. This is take one, like I said. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to try to go slow. Although I have it all in my head and down on paper, it doesn't come out the same way all the time. Okay? Now, I believe the 23rd letter in the alphabet, which is a W, okay? Number 23, it's no joke. It tells a whole story, more than a story than anybody can ever think of themselves. And then again, maybe there is, but I haven't heard it yet. So, okay, so the one who does know out there, hey, how's it going? Okay, so I believe the 23rd letter plays a role in the freedom of man and angel as two lives in one. The reason I say two lives in one, because it's a double of you. The picture cards, okay, in the deck of cards, are all doubles. They're all reflections of each other. Therefore, that also must play a role. But in French, it's W, double of V, meaning the double of life. So I put the two together. Who said we're not allowed to? We can do what we want. I hope I make the end of this video by 15 minutes. Anyways, thus, Beta created both man and angel. Beta, the way I figure it, is the 2 on the roulette board, and that's the other side of God that does the creating, because here on earth we understand that women create, okay? Thus 2 beta, okay, and 3 is create. The number 3 on the roulette board, or tic-tac-toe, the 3rd position, that's for creation. There's 2 meanings to the 3. One is create, and one is command. Both by the same person, God, okay? But he takes on a different look, so man would be able to understand and be able to explain it, okay? So he separates everything. That's part of the reason why we have the number of cards in the deck that we do, and I'm going to get on to that in this session, okay? Thus, we have 2 and 3 from 23, and equals 5. Now, the 5 is the angel spirit. I can't get into start explaining everything. Just take it as it is. 5 is the angel spirit. Thus, 2 times 3 is 6, and that's man's number, okay? Now, if we add 5 to 6, we get 11. 11th card in the deck is the Jack, or the 11th letter in the alphabet is the K, okay? Possibly to be honoring God, okay? Thus, when you play craps and you go yo 11, yo, it would be the guy holding the dice in craps, let's say, would be God, because he's in control of the dice, and he's calling for his son to come out, because the winning number on a come-out roll is 7 or 11, either calling his own number and winning, or getting the number of his son, which is matched up right now in man, which is 6 and 5, which makes 11. Also, yo 11, there's something else in there. I don't know if you play craps, but yo means its initials for years old. And so something about 11 years old, possibly some sort of code, I don't know. Thus, the calling of yo, God as he plays the role, man as he plays the role of God, as he possesses the role of the dice. Thus, in this instant, man possesses spirit of God, in which would be number 7. Okay? But if he throws 2 ones, and ones is the spirit, he throws it out because he's canceling 1 1 with the other. When you throw 2 ones, 1 1 cancels the other. Another long explanation. Okay? Thus we get 23 as W. Okay? The double of you. Okay? So the doubling of you, okay, which would be the 21st letter, you double it, it's 42. Now we get into complications, because once you double have the W, the U is multiplied by 2, equaling to 42. Thus it means birth of angel spirit, because 5, F-I-V-E, is a 42-letter count along with N-I-N-E, 9, you know? Okay, so what happens is 9 is birth. I mean, if you watched all my videos, you'd pick up on it, on how the numbers work. And they're always right, because I created the system, of course. I make verbal errors, but that's okay. I accept. Anyways, So now what we would also do is we would go double V, which means double B in French. The B is the 22nd letter, so we have to double that. Okay? So what happens here is we double the B. We get 2 times 22 is 44. Okay? Thus, 44, I wish I could put this on pause. Just give me a second. Okay, thus, the amount that is supposed to be calculated, okay, from the ace to the 9 is 45. And the reason it's 44 instead of 45 is because when you throw the dice, you no longer need the spirit hookup of God, as he's direct with the dice right to the angel, which obviously is the money. Anyways, then we would have the W, which I already mentioned, that it's the birth of the angel, which is 5 and 9. And then we have, this is what we have, then we have combinations. Okay, when you throw the 7 or 11, if you add them together, there's 18. Okay, which would be spirit and heaven, which that's the best thing, that's where you are, that's where you want to go. Thus 1 plus 8 is 9, which means the birth of thus so heaven, or thus so man, or thus so angel. Okay, now when you put them together, the Hebrews, they call this Chai, lucky 18, because it creates the birth and it creates the heavens. Okay, now what we're going to talk about, did I have to go over anything else? No. Okay, thus 11 as 6 and 5, because that's the only way to attain 11 on the dice is 6 and 5, okay? Now we're going to look at something a little different, okay? As the 5, okay, number on a horse is black in one kind of racing, and the 6 is black, therefore man and angel as disguised on the horse. Thus the 5 horse is also green, which means the heavens, as in roulette, the 0 is green, plus the 4 horse is green. Thus now we're not talking about man anymore, we're talking about the angel in heaven. Before given the spirit, he was number 4. Thus obtaining the spirit, he becomes number 5, his angel spirit. Okay? Thus, now what we do is we take the 6 that's black, okay, the 4 that's green, and we have Zion, 64. The word Zion adds up to 64 letter count. Z26, I9, O 15, and 14, Zion. Okay, thus the color 4 green plus the 6 green. Okay, did I not say that? 4 and 6 are both green. Okay, but I'm talking about the pool ball now. You see, the 6 ball in pool is green. Heaven is green because the 0 in roulette is green. And that's what it's representing. It's representing something of so many numbers that it needs a 0 to carry it all inside of it. Anyways, I have to go on to the next page. And what we're going to do now is we have to remember in roulette there's a double 0. So the double 0, what happens is because the 1 0 is 64, then the double 0 has to be 128. And one of the reasons that it's 128 is that because angel and man go into Zion, angel and man is 6 and 4, Zion is 6 and 4. Since man and angel go into Zion, it's 64 plus 64 is 128. Now with that they're in Zion, we no longer need 1, 2, or 8. They don't need the spirit connect, which is the 1. They don't need the beta for creation because they're no longer creating. And we no longer need the heaven because we're going into heaven. Now, just in case I miss this later, okay, I'm talking about the cards now. I'm putting our lives and numbers into cards. So we remove the 1, 2, 8 from the card, okay, and what happens is we also don't need the few other numbers, but let me get to the 128 here. So we no longer need the 1, the 2, or the 8 because of the spirit. Beta is the 2, which is the other side of God for creating. Okay, and we don't need to create anymore. I'm going to try and get into that later. Anyways, I remove all the numbers, okay, from 1 to 9, which total 45. And I have to remove the 1, the 2, the 7, the 8, and the 9. The 1 is because it's spirit, the 2 because it is beta to create, to create the births. We don't need the 9 because that's the birth. We don't need the heaven, we're already in heaven. And we don't need the God because we're already with God. I just want to tell you something, that the shoe is like a birthday gift. You get your gift all wrapped up in a box, okay? Then you take out what's in the box. So you have one gift, you're unwrapping to get another gift, so you have 2. The shoe is actually home. The 2 jokers, in case I'm going to miss out on this, I have so much more to say. The 2 jokers, well, that's Alpha God, okay, or Hashem, and Beta God, which is the creator. Hashem, what he does is he commands. Then he creates, he becomes the Beta God so that man can see the difference, and then he creates. Okay? So therefore, total of 1 to 9 equals 45. We have to add on 3 more because of the hidden part. You see, God can always and will always command, but he won't always create. Therefore, we'll have to take on a new deck of cards. Okay, so we add the 45 plus 3, okay, is 48 points now, in which we don't see it because that's the part of the card that we don't see, which I'll get to in the 10 card. Okay, what I want to talk about now is that we have to take the other 3, which are the hearts, the diamonds, and the clubs, which is another set of 3s, okay, that aren't mentioned except for on the cards, but they have to be mentioned separately. We add that to 48, it makes 51. Okay, the 52nd card, okay, the way I look at it, okay, I could make a mistake, okay, is God, because we have to count him somewhere because we really don't know where he is. Now we have 54 cards in the deck. We have the 2 jokers, and like I just said, God is both of them. Because they're black and they're red, well, the red is for an action, and the black, okay, is a noun. It's the other person of who he is, the beta person. So now we have 54 cards. Then we have the 10 card. What the 10 card actually is the attachment we've always had of the spirits of the worlds. The worlds needed attachment in order to reflect so that our world would be like the world of gods. So that is the center of the tic-tac-toe, and it's 5. So you have to cross it twice. Okay? Can't ask me why right now. So you cross that twice and you get 10. And that's the 10 card that they don't count in Baccarat. Okay? It's always in use. Okay? So now you have 54 cards plus 10, 64. Man, an angel, is 6 and 4. Zion is 6 and 4. And now we have the connection of the heavens to the earth is also 10. Makes it a total equation of 64. Thus we would have 6 and 4 and put 6 and 4 crossways underneath it. We have 10, 10 for 6 and 4, man and angel. Then we have, we have 10 for 6 and 4, man and angel. Then we have 10 for Zion, okay, of Zion 64, uses the whole number. And then we have 10 again, okay, for the spirit connecting of the 2 worlds. 10, 10, 10. Now the question is, since we no longer need the earth, do we actually need that 10? So therefore, if we didn't actually need that 10, we've already canceled out 3 other 10s, which was 1 crossing on a tic-tac-toe to 9, 3 crossing over to 7, and 2 crossing down all the way to 8. And that's what the jack, look what the jack of spades is holding in his hand. Okay? It's a loop, double loop. It's a 2, 5, and 8. The 2 and the 8 make 10. So then what we'd have is we'd have 10, 10 on earth, and 10, 10, 10, 10 that we no longer, 10, 10 in heaven, and 10, 10, 10, 10 we no longer need. And if you add the 10, 10, 10, 10, well, that's Moses. Okay, if you add the 20 to it, okay, we'd have man, 60, and the 40 would be angel 40. Therefore, again, we have 64. So it always comes back to the 6 and the 4. I'm going to keep it short for now. I'm quite sure there's going to be a lot who don't want to listen, who don't understand. You see, every time I speak, I learn something new as I go. And I add it in, and I don't always write it down, and I don't always remember. But this whole world was based on 6 and 4 and 21. Why 21? Beta Alpha, 21. The 37th number in the European roulette, the single 0. 3 by 7, 21. Blackjack, 21. 4 angel and 1 spirit. If you turn the